Okay, I have not done one of these in a while, but yeah. Oh god, my game sounds are insanely loud. Now let's turn those down. Right. Hello, hi guys. It's Fracture, or Leo, or Shatterstar, whatever you know me as. I've changed my name over the years, and yeah, let's stick to Shatterstar, because that's my YouTube channel, but for the new ones that are probably going to show up in this channel, which is unlikely, but if you are, hi, I'm Leo, or Shatterstar, but yeah, in-game username is Fracture Illusion, and yeah, see, there's no, this video is not going to be like any of my other videos, where I'm See, this video is not going to be any of my other videos. I'm not going to edit this. I'm not going to. Well, I might edit this for like the sound, if like maybe some sound editing, perhaps some music in the background, if that fits the vibe. But no, I'm not planning to edit much. This video is mostly just going to be me raw and yapping, just talking about random stuff. It's mildly inspired from this one guy, I'll credit him in the description, where he talks about like certain topics while playing Minecraft Survival. I'm like, hey, I can do that too. Um, that's basically what? But basically, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, and now I just hit the record button without much of a plan. But I'm thinking of keeping the central theme of friendships, more specifically friendships that end, because, you see, nothing lasts forever, and friendships are no exception to that rule. In fact, that rule has no exceptions, because nothing lasts forever. Everything has an end, start, finish. Nothing's really infinite, except for maybe time itself. But I'd like to believe that someday even time has an end, because I believe that time is finite. Because someday time might end. I'm not sure if it'll be because there's nobody to witness the end of time, or if it'll be because, doomsday, religious theories, blah blah blah. I've been also getting into analog horror lately, so yeah, but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, so coming back to the initial topic, friendships. Oh, hey, a village. Okay, ADHD little fuck. Right, coming back to the original topic, um, friendships. I'm pretty sure sometime in your life you're going to find friendships or friends that you're going to want to keep forever. Perhaps sometimes you're going to think that perhaps these are the friends I'm going to keep forever. And that's not an unreasonable thought. Like, that's probably, I'm pretty sure it's a universal experience. And for the lucky few that have gotten to actually, like, for the lucky few that have gotten to the point where they do have those friends, and where they are friends forever, to that, hats off. I officially envy you. Oh god, it's a creeper. I genuinely do envy you because, you see, this isn't a very recent thing. It's happened a while ago, but you know, why not yap about it? I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna find it relatable. Also, the arrow sticking in my shoulder doesn't really help. But yeah, so throughout my time, uh, I, as a child, would move around quite often, country to country, city to city. I moved from Canada to like Japan, fucking uh, to fucking the UK. Now I'm in Sweden. So yeah, I've moved around quite a bit. I've also had a brief Bangladesh phase because yeah, basically I've moved around quite a bit, right, in my life. So having friends that was like constant, that wasn't really an expectation per se. Because for a child that moves around a lot, you don't get to make a lot of friends that stay in the same place. So it was within these years that, I got Discord, made some online friends, had a friend group, fell out, you know, typical. Oh god, okay, we'll take that. But, you typically you have a friend group, talk to them a lot, an embarrassing ton. Something happens, you guys fall out, or just stop talking, blah blah blah. Now I've had many friend groups like these where we fell out, we stopped talking, or something happened that caused us to stop talking. So there is a lot, but today I'm going to be talking. I guess I have more of a specific one in mind, but yeah, while I mention this, I will know. I'm gonna keep the names and everything confidential, obviously, but you know, if you manage to find these people, just leave them alone, please. I've buried the hatchet. Oh well, more so to say, I don't talk to them anymore. I don't really consider most of them my friends anymore. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But any case, right. So when it comes to friendships, these friends of mine that I met at a relatively complicated time in my life where, I was dealing with a lot of change, I was moving, I was quite new to Sweden. I was going to this language introduction course because they need that for anybody that's like new. It was pretty it was a complicated time in my life, you know? Everything was moving real fast. I had to adjust to this new place and, speak a whole new language, and I had to learn it from scratch. And I was like, what, 15? So that isn't very, it's like, it's a lot, to say the least. Like, it's quite a lot. And, during that period, I found these friends of mine in a server. It was a public server, right? And I didn't exactly think I'd get this close because, you see, the server wasn't exactly small. I wouldn't say it's the biggest of all time, but it was definitely not very small. It had like around 400, I think, 500 members. I don't exactly remember, but it was, yeah, it was quite big. But I managed to be really good friends with the owner, some admins, some of the gang. Like, they had this gang that would record like videos together and stuff. It was really fun, and I really liked that phase of my life. Of course, as most things do, I evolved, I guess. I moved away from Minecraft at some point, but I still considered these guys my friends. We didn't talk a lot, but we talked. It was a typical guy friendships. Most guys would understand. Um, ow, sorry, but yeah, it was definitely a great phase in my life. I didn't. I mean, I started moving away from Minecraft a little bit because we mostly played ranked, like not ranked Bed Wars, but like Bed Wars, but privates. It's like somebody would host a server. We would have roughly two teams. No, we would always have two teams in a 4v4 map, or sometimes duos maps, and we would play and fight against each other, rinse and repeat, and it was really funny. And it was also sweaty, depending on what mood it was. Sometimes we would clip each other for fun. I'm pretty sure you've seen some of my clips. Now, at this point, I should tell you, you're probably going to know who they are if you watch my channel long enough. And there's a chance that the people mentioned are watching this video, but I think that's okay, because, I mean, I'm just sharing a story. There's no animosity, no ill intent, just I think this is a story a lot of people can relate to an extent, and I think I think I want people to know this story simply so they realize, you know, everything in life is finite, and that, you know, maybe that isn't the end just because something ended. So, going back to the story again, I think, yeah, so I started moving away from Minecraft. I was playing more Valorant with my friends, my other friends, I guess, and yeah, it was like, I met more friends and different friends, and I started moving away a little bit from that friend group. I would still talk quite a bit, and some of them moved to Valorant with me while playing Minecraft. Um, if you're watching this, Marcel, I love you. You're the goat. And you too, Revan. I love you, bro. Honestly, I don't appreciate you guys enough. Thank you very much for being in my life. Um, but yeah, so everything considered, when I came back to Minecraft, as expected, things weren't really the same. You know, our friendship had changed. I had changed because it had been quite a long time. And that's okay, I thought, because, in the end, a lot of things do change. Friendships, life, you know. And I thought, hey, that's not that bad. It's a different outlook, sure. I may not be as close as I was to the people, but I certainly did not expect to be not part of the friend group anymore. Or at least, that's what briefly felt like. Now, yes, there was certain drama that made me rage quit out of the server, but, you know, um, as much as I don't want to go into details about what happened, but essentially, my friend started leaking details about my personal life in a public VC with a stranger. That's not the typically accepted friend behavior now, is it? And it's ironic because this guy, and I thought, despite this guy having his flaws, I genuinely considered him a pretty close friend of mine. We had a lot of history and memories together, playing a bunch of events. So, yeah. Um, yeah, but that behavior was certainly unexpected. The timing, I just feel like it was done on purpose, but, it's fine. Bygones with bygones. I can't hold grudges anymore. It's fine. Um, Everything considered though, I remember why I quit the server. And that's, uh, yeah. I remember leaving because I was pretty angry, reasonably so, might I add. And yeah, afterwards though, I decided that, okay, it's a small thing. I shouldn't be so hung up over it. I get it. Things like these happen. I'm not excusing it, but I'm not going to spend every living moment of my life dreading it either, because that's exhausting. I don't think that's appreciated either. So, yeah. Um, yeah, afterwards though, it was pretty obvious they didn't want me around, I guess, to an extent, but I never really noticed the signs until it finally happened. Um, so it was just me chilling until one day I find out I'm no longer in the server. Like, okay, what happened? I got kicked for making somebody uncomfortable. Okay, sure. That's alright, I guess. Um, Now, here's the, here's the thing, right? If that really did happen, if I really did make somebody uncomfortable, I would genuinely apologize because I don't know who this person is, where this person originates from, or even who I made uncomfortable because I didn't really talk to anybody in that server after I came back. That was quite a strange occurrence because what? I made somebody uncomfortable and they decided to kick me for it, which is okay, fair enough. You know what? it is what it is. I'm sure we're still friends, right? And I don't know, it's just, here's the thing, it never really sits right with me, because, look, they obviously wanted me out of the server, but it never really sat right how convenient this was about this person that existed that I apparently made uncomfortable. Which is, okay, fair enough. That's valid, I guess. But they never really told me who they were, and up until a certain point, we'll get to that in a bit. But, so I'm like, okay, I can apologize, I can actually talk, but like, I never understand because it felt very one-sided. If I made someone uncomfortable, at least, like, look, realistically, if they tell me who that is, I don't think I can send hitmen over to their house. And I'm not sure. In the end, though, I kinda got one of them to say who that person was. And okay, that's fair. I realize who this person was, but there's a lot of inconsistencies because I remember sharing a conversation with this person that was genuinely normal. Like, there was no ill intent between one another. It was my first ever all-nighter that I spent, and I talked to them about literally life and stuff, Like, it was pretty deep. I don't want to go into the details, but I don't, there was nothing there that could have made them uncomfortable unless, I guess, I don't know, talking about politics at 3 a.m. is what makes you uncomfortable, in which case, my bad. But I don't know, it's just felt like the story's always had a bunch of inconsistencies. And then, my friend says that, oh, this person's been like more active and so, and want to give them a safe space to talk to, and that's fair. Yeah, no, completely valid. But is that it, though? Because, you see, in a server that's like genuinely really big, you would think that, you know, um, if it's so big, why wouldn't it, like, I'm pretty sure people make each other uncomfortable at least 50 billion times because it's a relatively big server with like a bunch of people. And there have there has been people that have done quite a few things, and I mean quite a few things, and yet they never get kicked. But for me, who allegedly made this person uncomfortable, I got kicked instantly. And now, while that happened and that hurts, I can sit here speculating, saying like, oh, this has probably happened, this person probably doesn't exist, blah blah blah, or they made it up, they made up an excuse. I am not going to do that, because I've already done it. And I'm pretty sure anybody who's had their friendship ended probably has too. And because, you see, I'm not going to do that because I realize that it's a waste of energy. First off, obviously, if they don't want to be your friend anymore, they just don't want to be your friend anymore. There isn't much you can do about it, but yeah, aside from maybe like, I don't even know. I was gonna say hope they change their mind, but that's not very, healthy, honestly. And throughout this entire saga, yes, I've come to realize that oh fuck. Um, what? 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 Huh? Where's the fish? Okay, sorry about that, but throughout this entire saga, I've come to realize that, you know, you can't really be wasting time on people that just don't want you there. Because yes, you can dread about what we used to be, you can dread about what you guys were, but you're not going back to that. In fact, maybe you never can go back to that. Perhaps they've made their mind up for something. and you're never gonna be able to do anything about it. And I think that's okay. See, like these guys, yes, it's a very bitter end, but I do have some genuinely good memories with these guys. And I'm not gonna say, oh, I want, I'm not gonna let one bad experience take it away. Once the oven went off. I should have really chosen a better time. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, as I was saying, some people are just not worth it, I guess. They've made up their mind, you cannot have that back, and I think that's alright. That's okay. It's a part of life to experience something that, you know, experience level of loss where you just don't fit in anymore. You used to be the you used to be good friends with them, but they're no longer your friends. And best thing I can say about that, that is their loss. It's their loss. They lost someone as good as you. And see, after all these things happened for me, I realized that I cannot spend time speculating what happened. I cannot. Because, yeah, maybe in the end, I find out that I'm right. I find out that this person that I allegedly accused doesn't exist. What then? What's next? Am I just gonna be happy that, haha, I found out you guys just wanted me out of the friend group? Okay, they wanted you out. That's the reality of it. That's a hook, line, and sinker. There's nothing grand about it. Friendships end. Although, do I wish it ended in a more respectful manner? Like, hey, Leo, you don't match our humor anymore. We just don't want you around in our server. Okay, that works. Sure. But an allegation? Obviously, way too far. Oh god, this is the fish that died, isn't it? Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, now I feel bad. But, you know, after everything, you can wish for a different ending, but that's all it's gonna be. Wishes. I have some great memories there, and I'm not gonna say, like, oh, I'll let one bad experience ruin all the memories. No. My memories are forever ruined. But, that's the thing. When I say my memories are ruined, I don't mean like, oh, my memories are ruined, I think of them, I get depressed. While that's partially true, it's also true that this is a learning moment. Because this teaches me the, the finite qualities of a friendship and how truly fragile relationships in general can be. So, next time you have a friendship, a long-term friendship, or or a friend group or any relationship maybe, the next time it ends, just keep in mind it's not always a bad thing. It might be the start of a new chapter. Oh my god. Bitch. This fucking creeper just ruined my vibe. Well, I promise no editing and no cuts, so you get that. But I think, yeah, maybe it might be a good thing. Ending friendships isn't always that bad. Maybe it's not even bad at all. Because you get the chance to rediscover yourself. You get the chance to make new ones. Maybe this time ones that will stay. Ones that are honest. And that is what I've done. For my previous friends, huge like quotation marks, they're not my friends anymore. I don't consider them my friends. And it took a lot, but I'm finally okay now. My life is falling apart in multiple states, but see, you're never gonna be able to. You can't you can't see, with this level of friend group, you realize how they truly valued you after you get the clarity that you need, after you realize that, yo, these guys kind of just ditched me and gave me a bunch of allegations, making me sound like a creep or something. But, yeah, I think after everything, you're gonna realize, like, yo, they wanted me out. Fair enough. You know the old saying that goes, if the world turns its back on you, you turn its back on the world? Yeah, do the same to them. Because I promise you, my friend, you don't deserve it. Or, better yet, they don't deserve you. Because you are worth more than anything else. Because these people just didn't see your worth, and I am sorry for that. I really am. But hey, for what it's worth, even though I don't know you, even though I can't see you, even though I may never get to know you, I can tell you that if you've been in a position like mine, I promise you it's because you've just made the wrong friends. And yes, you might be in a shit place, perhaps you might be lacking company, perhaps you might be lacking friends, but in the end, you value yourself. And if you are honest to yourself, you may not get a lot of friends like I did, but you will get true ones, honest ones. It may not give you, see, honesty won't always give you a lot of friends, but it will give you the right friends, the ones that actually care, the ones that might end up staying. So, the next time a friendship ends, or something ends, just keep in mind, perhaps it's not a bad thing. That's what's meant to be. And yeah, at that's about episode 1, day 1 of my rant. There isn't much to say here, aside from just said. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, or night, or evening. And yeah, I hope everything goes well. And seriously, stranger, trust me, if you find this relatable, then please take my advice, and I'm sure you'll find yourself in a much better place. Anyways, that's it for today. You guys enjoyed? I'll see you guys in the next one then. Bye bye.